references. I mean, in a nutshell, that's what I would do. I'm going through this right now. I'm trying to add a DT-HTML Gantt chart. So I think Jason might be on now. So
right. Okay.
Hopefully that was helpful. But basically, I mean, look at AM charts and see if you can find out, how they did it.
Right. Thank you, David. While we do have Jason, I don't know if you're able to read the comments so far, Jason, but we have some questions around adding custom JavaScript. So David was kind of just giving a quick overview. Do you have any thought, Jay? Are you there? All right, maybe you're coming on.
I'm here, yes.
Ah, excellent. Looks like Chen has a similar question. He wants to add custom JavaScript files to the header view.php. Okay. So I don't know if you want to do an overview of custom JavaScript. I guess David just did that.
Well, I mean, I don't know the proper Zurmo way, but my suggestion, Jason, was just to go and look at how AM charts were configured. I'm not sure I would put my JavaScript in header view PHP because you'll make a break to the core code if they upgrade.
Mm-hmm.
I'm thinking. Well, I mean, if you're minifying stuff, you could theoretically use the min script. You could put it in the group map in the config. You could add a JS file there, I guess. Then it would be part of the minify, but it's not exactly ideal. I think there's a way in Yi to do it, to be honest with you, via the configuration. That you can add JS to render, I think, via the config, but I'm not sure. Otherwise, you might have... Well, I mean, does it have to be in the header? Why does it have to be in the header? I guess that would be my question, because there's other ways to do things where you could just, include JS, register JS at other spots of...
Yeah, Frank, I can unmute you, James, if you want. If you want to talk this out. All right, you're unmuted.
All right, is that a little better?
Yes, thank you.
All right. Yeah, I was trying to add files and add customization as easily as possible without it being overwritten when there's an update or something like that, without having to go back in and reinsert that line of code.
Yeah, well, I mean, what are you trying to add, I guess?
We were just trying to add some basic just jQuery functionality into the form just to hide some fields on certain conditions and things like that.
Inside certain, views?
Correct.
You should look at custom management. There's a method that you can use. There's a method called, this method here, resolve element information during form layout render.
Okay.
And if you trace how that's utilized, you could actually use that to then register scripts for specific views. That's how I would do it.
Okay, and then is that something that would need to be done again once an update to Zurmo occurred?
No.
No? Right. I'll look into that.
It looks like Schwabi had some advice too. Well, I don't know if it's the same question though. Let's see this.
Okay, let me take a look.
All right, so James, you're pretty good.
Yes, yes, thank you, thank you.
All right, I think Chen, okay. It's trying to render the notes portlet in the leads edit view. Creating notes, okay. Doesn't remember the form elements. Yeah, I don't know if you see the comment from Chen, Jason.
Okay, 1 second. Okay, hold on. What the heck? Trying to expand my, doesn't let me expand my go-to thing here. Okay, here we go. Oh, there we go, okay. Okay. David said he's having issues with Softaculous.
That's true. Yeah, we can do that.
Yeah, I mean, that's something, that's server admin stuff. You'd really have to talk to your host about that.
I guess I talked to David before our dev session. Is there anything we can do? I mean, I kind of told him that it's kind of Softaculous issue. We can't control
Yeah,
that.
it is, definitely.
So is there a checklist he can give Softaculous for running the crons?
Not really. I mean, we have this wiki article on running the crons, but beyond that, no. Chen, I'm trying to render the notes portlet in the leads edit view. Oh. Huh. I found a strange way when I render the notes portlet twice. It does render. In the leads edit view? Uh-huh. I mean, that's, yeah, that's customizing it. In the leads edit view, you would have had to, yeah, I mean, would require, I don't know, I can't just answer it, I guess, from that comment. I mean, I'd have to see what's going on here, what you're trying to do with the form. I'd have to see how you're including the note thing. Let's see, Shawabi put that, okay, so yeah, CC client script. Josh Francis, get an overview of the cases help desk functionality. Not right now because we don't have the design and we don't really have much of it done yet, so there's nothing really to review yet with that. Leandro, I already have one posted. Bug found with Kanban and workflows. Yeah, I think I know what he's talking about. Yeah, some sort of bug. If you can replicate it on the live demo, then Ray, you can make a pivotal on it.
So
I just do it.
Go ahead.
Go ahead, Leandro.
Hi.
Hi.
Hi. I did it in the live demo. I don't know if it's reinstalled, but let me see.
Can you make the bug happen in the live demo, or is the bug only in your local install?
In both.
In both,
live demo,
okay.
In both.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah, then we can make a pivotal for that.
Okay.
So
All right.
Yeah, so we'll make a pivotal on that.
I'll do that right now.
Pivotal.
Yeah.
Thanks, Leandro, for reporting that. David, I have an unresolved issue with cPanel cron jobs. Okay, let's take a look at that. Can someone set up cron jobs? Okay, someone responded, Matthew Jones. Oh, yeah, I mean... What the... Debug dist. I mean, David, wait, which one is David here? Are you?
He's the one with the Softaculous.
Electris Roddy.
He's got the Softaculous issue.
Okay. Right, but like he's saying, he pointed me to this forum post.
Yeah.
Okay, okay. I'm trying to just look and see.
David, do you want to speak up? I don't think I have you muted.
I'm here. Can you
There you go. Yes, thank you.
Okay, okay. You're just trying to say, but what about which? Okay, so but this forum post says other people. Which person are you?
I'm David Ezrati. If you go to the forum, you can see further down that I've asked questions and gone back and forth on that link.
What's your username in the system?
The next wave.
Got it. Okay.
So, I mean, I found in one place where they said don't use the super as, and you have to use another username. That made no sense at all. But I'd have to set up a separate username for every.
No, I mean you can use super if it's a super administrator. You can use it. That's fine. You get warning required debug dist. I don't know. You got some weird path action going on. I mean, do you have in the config protected config is debug dist there?
I don't know. I mean, I don't know what debug disk.
Well, it should be there. Under protected config, do you see that file in the application?
Hold on. In the commands folder, protected.
No, in the config folder. App protected config.
Protected config. Yeah, there's a debug PHP file.
There's no debug dist?
Debug. There is one. Yes, there is.
Okay. Well, I mean, I don't know why your Cron's not running. I mean, when we set it up, it runs. So I mean, you got some sort of server configuration thing going on.
Probably permissions.
Permissions?
I mean, the one thing I see as a problem is PHPQ. You should usually probably want to change directory to. Well, that's weird. Who are you? What user are you running the cron as? You should be running it as Logan Oak.
I should be running as Logan Oak, not as
You should.
Super?
Well, you mean when you go to cron tab, what user on the server are you logged in as?
Logan Oak.
Okay, well, if you're logged in as Logan Oak and it's Logan Oak's cron tab,
I'm
then
through cPanel, and they have a cron job.
Oh, you did it via cPanel.
Yeah, and I'm doing it that way. And the guy checked it out and said it's okay, but it keeps coming up with this issue of Bootstrap on line 58. And line 58 doesn't give me an indication what it's supposed to be. I am not a programmer, so, you know, but I go into Bootstrap and I look at .php and I look at line 58, and it says require once. And then
Well, it just means there's a pathing problem. There's some sort of path problem. Although I suppose there could be, like Windsor was saying, there could be a permission problem with the files.
what permissions are they supposed to have?
Depends on the server. I mean, can you run the app? I mean, the application runs, right?
The application runs great. It just won't send any emails or mass emails. It just to send the test email, and it'll send, but it won't do anything else. I mean, I've got the folder open. What's the protected folder of the commands? Where are they supposed to be?
Do you want me to flip to David, Jason?
It says 755 for the folder is permissions.
No, the permissions are fine if it's running through the browser.
I thought debug
Wait,
dist
oh,
is
you know
only
what? You know,
only
I
happens
better-
when you don't have a debug, right?
No, well, no, debug dist would always be there because that's the source that it's pulled from. Can you run the command from the command line?
I'm not smart enough to do that. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you got to get you got to get someone on that server who can run the command from the command line. So before you even try to use the cron,
From the command line, and he said to me that it should work. He says that the problem is it runs into this error on line 58.
Yeah, but did he try running the command from the command line, not using cron?
That's what he said he did.
What command? Well, what did he use to run that? I mean, what exact line? What exact like what did he run? I guess.
I'll put right here what he put.
Okay.
He said it puts a path to PHP in your command. Here's an example of running the command and what it would look like along with there. I got one.
No, but did he run the actual Zurmo command from the command line?
I think he did. I mean, I just texted you what he said.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, let me look. Uh-huh. I mean, the thing is, I don't run it like that. I would go into the commands folder, change directory into the commands folder.
Okay. Well.
And then I would do like this. Well, for starters, I would not capital J. It's a lowercase. Actually, no, that's right. It is capital J.
Because I'm looking at the files and it says capital J, capital M, and Job Manager, and then capital C.
No, it's fine. It's fine. That's not it. So I would do like that. But I would do it. I would go. The thing is, you should try to run it from command line from within the folder. Like he should be running PHP when he's in the folder.
Now,
so there's something going on.
And from a person who starts out with a simple Softaculous install, wants this thing to get up and running, and is using cPanel for generating his cron jobs, something that you would start with the average user trying to figure out this, it's not working. So
yeah, I mean, we don't support the Softaculous stuff. I mean, we support our hosted environment and then on-premise clients. So I mean, we don't
grow your user base though and get the buzz going. This is how you do it. That's
in an ideal world with unlimited resources, you are 100% correct. We're trying our best. I can tell you. I can tell you that.
I understand that, but I'm looking for help from the community somewhere on how to at least build a checklist of what you would do. From this install, all the things you need to check and what to do and get started. And even if you don't do it from Softaculous, it doesn't really exist. All I find is your one checker app, and it says everything's fine, except for the optional parts where it says I failed all 5 of those or whatever. So, there's really not any information there telling me why I need to do things like LDAP. I mean, do I have to solve all those problems for this to work, or should it work without them?
No, you don't need LDAP for it to work. That's something completely separate.
Okay, because there's like 5 things that are optional, and it failed every one of them.
Well, I mean, if the app is running through the browser, then you're okay. This issue is something with the server. It's some issue with how you're running the command line, how you're trying to implement the cron, and what's going on with how the server is configured with the path, with the user path to PHP or something like that.
Do you guys have any people who are developers or something who can troubleshoot this at an hourly rate? Do you have a built list of connections for people like that?
Not really.
Not really, no.
Aren't there people in the community that are, able to help others and something like that and get paid for it?
You could post up on the forums and see if someone can do it. I mean, I'm sure someone would be open to it.
Okay. Oh, I just saw Windsor said he would.
There you go.
Right. And Chen says he can help tomorrow. So
there you go. Look at that.
There we go. See?
Commerce is happening.
There you go. Things are happening.
I'm just going to post my email here and say, help me out, whoever gets to me, and we'll do this because PayPal works great.
Yes.
So thank you. But I'd be happy to help you guys with marketing and working on this documentation, on how to get started and everything else. But again, there's the forums, there's the wiki, there's the blog, there's like 3 different places to look. Nobody knows where to look for what.
Yeah.
And starting, the initial how to get started with Zurmo seems to be missing.
Yeah, that's good, honest feedback. Appreciate it. We know we're lacking. We're trying to do as much as we can, but we do have, we have plans later on to beef out documentation. So please, bear with us, and you're being very patient and kind, and we do have awesome people in the community like David and Chen. Yeah.
I love the program. I love what you're trying to do, and I've had a lot of experience with other CRMs and stuff, and demystifying this for small business. This is how you grow the business.
Well, I mean, the reality is for small businesses, I mean, they really just need a hosted CRM solution. They don't need to be, most likely not really need to be installing it on their own server and even messing around with servers. But, I mean, regardless, I agree we should have more documentation like that.
Well, I'm going to just put a post up here for you guys to consider. I wrote a while ago about how this all gets started and where people, how you build the community and get things going. So see what you think. And
Okay. Awesome.
Yeah, I mean, appreciate it. I mean, anytime you want to have to contribute, that'd be great. And just being on the forums and answering questions is helpful too.
Well, I can't answer a whole lot until I get it up and running, but
That's probably true, yeah.
I'll be a lot more help. Okay, thank you guys.
Awesome. No, thanks, bud.
Awesome.
Thanks, man. Take care.
I'm selling my MacBook. Anyone interested? Just
You're-
kidding.
What was that? Was that Leandro?
Yeah, just kidding.
Just kidding.
I'm selling my MacBook.
Okay. Yes. Nice. All right. Let's see. I have to take a look at this. Yes, Chen, thank you for helping out. David, thank you for helping out. Or, David Windsor helping out David Aresti. Thank you. All right. I feel like we missed a few questions here. Josh, I think we answered your question about cases. Yeah, we don't have any design docs yet.
I guess I was looking for not really design docs. I was wondering if you just had a general sense of what those words meant on the development roadmap.
Right. Yeah, so we will have a cases module. I think you saw it in Q3. No, it is Q2. I can tell you right now it's not likely going to be Q2, but it will be something similar to OS Ticket or Zendesk where you'll have a module within the CRM that you can log cases against, which will have relationship to accounts and whatever relationships we're going to have. We are thinking about in the interim, building some strong integrations with something like Zendesk or the top ticketing systems. But it would be a replacement for those once we have it out of box.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yep. Good question. Any other questions on the roadmap while we're kind of here? Our 2.7 release, Jason, is that kind of still on target?
Yeah, sort of, yeah. It's coming along. I mean, it is somewhat on target.
Good. Very nice. If anyone had any questions on what 2.7 is about, I doubt we can show that, but it's getting close. I mean, 3.0 is going to be right behind it.
Some other questions here. Someone was asking what's the best way to create a lookup field using the API. No, not using the API. I would use custom management. Like in the wiki, you can use custom management to add a relation field to your model. And then you can easily have that in the view and placed via the metadata. So it would take a little bit of work, but you could do it in an upgrade-safe way. Okay, let's see. What's William got to say here? Oh, he's got 2 questions. I'm working with a group that does not use opportunities at all. Where can I find the code to remove opportunities by sales stage? from the Add Portlet dropdown. Easier answer, just go into rights on everyone and disable access to opportunities. That would be much better idea. Second question, I wanted to modify the drop-down list where it shows admin, designer, import users, blah, blah, blah. I want to change labels, add something. Well, I mean, again, you could use custom management to modify the metadata since that's stored inside the database. So you'd want to use custom management to modify that metadata. What did Chen say? Wait a second here. Okay, Chen was going to say something. Okay. Okay, hold on 1 second.
Where are you seeing these questions, Jason? Are they in the chat log?
Yeah, and then a chat log. Okay, need to add a hook to the bottom of test, probably. Windsor, if you make it, I can take a pull request on that. Okay, second question from William. Right, no, I answered that. Chen, okay. I'm overwriting render after form layout. Yeah. I mean, I don't know how that's... Oh, okay, after form layout. You're going to have two forms. Okay, I mean, that seems like that could work, Chen. I guess I'd have to... I guess let me look at your original question. Doesn't render the form. Well, form isn't rendered via element, it's rendered via the view. So I'm not sure if you added... What did you do? I don't know if you like instantiated another view, like a note inline view or just a note edit view. I'm not really sure what you did. So I don't know until I could see more. Okay, let's see what's next on the docket. Okay. Okay. Leandro. Yeah, Chen, you could paste some code. That'd be fine. Can we create a workflow which sends an email to a context X days before a meeting, considering just working days? No, not really right now. We don't have that capability.
Okay, explain to do it.
Explain how to do it? Oh. Oof. Oh, is it planned? Not right now. But I suppose if enough people request it, we can make a story for it.
Okay, okay. Thanks.
Okay, what's the next question?
I have one more. Sorry.
It's okay. Go for it.
I just write it.
Okay. In a project, when I edit a task that is under to do and change the due date, it moves back to someday after changing the due date. Ooh. That's not good. Are you in, what version are you on?
And in the live demo.
Sounds like a bug to me. That sounds like a bug. Yeah, we should get that reported. You can get that reported to Ray and we can make a pivot on that.
And you replicated that in the live demo, yes, Leandro?
Yes, I can. It's the same thing.
You're doing great. Thank you for finding all these.
I just replicated and the same thing.
Sorry about that. We'll get them fixed, though.
Okay, okay. Great.
What else? Anything else? Sounds like you're hammering the, you're doing really good with the projects. You're using it a lot.
Yep. And that's I just finished a work, but I have a lot of problems with the Kanban
Yeah.
visualization. The first thing I told you that sorry about my English, it sucks.
No, it's good.
The first thing I told you that when I automatically create tasks from a workflow, I saw in the database, and the sort order is always 1
Hmm.
in the Kanban items. I think that's the problem.
I see. Okay. I posted the links to the Pivotal Tracker story, so you can track both of them if you want. And then what'll happen is when the bug is fixed, it'll be in the next release, which probably like 2.6.7. I don't know where the latest where we're at now, but yeah. Thank you so much for finding them.
Oh, great. Thank you.
Oh, 2.6.5. Okay, good. Let's see, anything else here?
Chen, I saw your thing. I don't think you can do what you're trying to do because render after form layout. Problem with render after form layout is that you know, you're inside the widget still for the other form, so you're really still in the other form. So you can't really do what you're trying to do like that. You'd have to you could override render content, and then after that content you could put your note thing. That's probably what you'd have to do, if that makes sense. Okay, so that's my answer for Chen. Alright, what else we got? What other questions? Okay, James Frank said...
Can you hear me, Jason?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Oh, sorry. Continue. Oh, I just want to ask something.
Okay, sure.
You said that I should override the render content, right?
I mean, yeah, I guess so.
Basically, I'm trying to render the notes portlet on the right side of the form to save a little space on the screen.
I mean,
well, actually, it works only if I call the notes portlet twice. Then on the second portlet, it adds the form tag.
Yeah, because you're inside the other form. You're in the other form widget. So it's weird. You're going to have, like, the form's going to be in the other forms. It's going to be weird.
Yeah, I know.
In fact, that makes sense because you're doubling the widget. Okay, so that makes sense. I don't know really what you would do there. On the right-hand side, well, I mean, you could put it completely to the right of the other portlet. But again, that would still be after the widget was done rendering.
What do you mean after the widget is done rendering?
Well, what I mean is that if you look inside edit and detail view .php, edit and details view .php,
Yeah.
okay, you got your render content. But you see line 111 is where you render after form. But this is inside the widget. 117.90 through 117 is already a form widget. So you'd be rendering another form inside the existing form, and that would be a problem.
So do you have another way I can do it?
You couldn't put it to the right. You'd have to put it after the form, and it'd have to be below. Or if you wanted to put it to the right, it would require some additional coding, additional changes.
Okay, but basically I need to override the render content, right? This is the right way.
You'd have to do that, yeah.
Yeah,
You could still use the parent content method, render content, but then after that content is returned, you would add something.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Hey Jason, can you show us your screen so we can follow that? That sounded pretty good.
Yeah, sure. Hold on. Ray, switch to me.
I will do so.
Okay, here we are in the edit and detail view. So we're in the render content method. So the thing is, render after form layouts here 111. But you see right here, through right here, I mean that's all within the form, the Zurmo active form. I'm not really even sure what you're trying to do, because the thing is, even if you could render a second form, you still have to have like a second save button. Wait, Schwabi says, wait a minute, what is he saying? Would it work if it was done like file attachments? A link to create a new node. Yeah. What are you trying to do? You're trying to make it so they can make a note at the same time that they can make a lead? Chen?
When they edit a lead, I want them to create a new note. I mean, we're using Zurmo for a call center. The users are going from the lead to the next lead. Let's say they have a lead with some wrong details or a wrong phone number, so they need to edit it. I edited, so the save button on the details view on the notes portlet will go to the next lead after you save the note. And I want to make it in the edit form so they could edit the leads view and add new notes. Does it make sense?
Yeah, it does, it does. I'm just wondering if you're better off in the detail view of the leads and adding a new portlet that's an inline edit for the lead. So that instead of the
that sounds good too. How can I do that?
I'd much rather do. I think you're better off doing that maybe. Because then you're inside the detail view and it's designed. You can have multiple inline edit forms. It's no problem.
Okay, how can I do that?
You'd have to make a new inline edit form. Inline edit view. I mean, note inline edit view extends inline edit view.
Yes. So I should create a new portlet.
I think it probably would. Yeah, actually. I mean, you got note inline edit view for portlet view. So you could use the same method. You could use the same pattern to create one for the lead.
Yeah. I guess.
And then in theory, you could have a portlet in the detail view for editing the lead.
How can I add custom portlets to the lead details view?
Well, if you created the portlet views, okay, then under Add Portlet it would be available if you did it right. So it would be available for them to add. I don't know, really.
What? Sorry?
I might try to go that route to try that out to do it.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Okay, great.
Okay, thanks you, Jason.
No problem. Okay, let's see what else. What other questions are on the table here? No more questions. Okay.
Is that it, huh?
Oh, James has a question. Okay, Leandro has a question. Okay, James, go ahead since you typed in first.
All right. My question was really just regarding for the modules. There's a way with the URL that you can have it a sorted view, and I was curious if there was any way or the best way to make it so that you can have a direct link to a filtered view where it only shows a certain type of group or such.
Can you repeat that one more time?
Yeah, no problem. I was trying to make it so that, to say on like the main menu on the left-hand side, that there would be a sub-menu within one of the modules, and it would link to a filtered view of that module where it only shows a certain group of customers or whatever.
Well,
because I know, if you go to a module and then you were to right-click and save the link address on the filtered status at the top, you can actually save that and put it in a new window, and it'll have that filtered view. And I was trying to do the same thing.
I mean, I would just use. Well, I mean, I would probably just use save searches.
But we wanted to have it so that it could be across different users.
Yeah. Okay.
I didn't know if there was a particular way to make that easier, or if it's just, I mean, a URL parameter.
I mean, you could make.
I mean, my only roundabout decision was I was going to use JavaScript to hide the rows based on what was listed.
Oh boy. You could make a custom controller action, a action list XYZ, and you could add a state adapter in there that would filter by the field you want to filter by always.
And what? Oh, but would it have a custom link to it?
Well, you could add using custom management. You could add a link to the left-hand side. You could do that. But
yeah, because that's just something else. Yeah, that's just something else that we were trying to figure out, because the reports, you can have a report view, but they take a minute to load, and they're not really used for just visual, because we're not going to be printing it or anything like that, or exporting it.
I mean, I guess it depends what you're trying to do. I mean, you could go with something like on the leaderboard where you have these 3 buttons, but again, I assume you want to be able to filter and search further down.
Yes.
Yes, that's not going to work. I mean, you could go with a state adapter with custom default actions. Custom controller actions. Because, I mean, leads is really just contacts filtered by certain certain status, so.
Yeah, because I was wondering if we could have...
It is a separate module, though. It is a separate module, so.
I was just wondering if we could have one where it just shows like an in-progress status only, and the other ones aren't listed and things like that.
Yeah, you could. I mean, you would need to have a custom controller action with a state adapter to do it.
All right, and then I actually have one other quick question. It's
Sure,
just regarding detecting the user. Is the API the best way to do that?
To detect the user?
To detect which user is currently logged in. So say there's a field attached to the user to like the role for permissions. Is there a way to detect the role and such of the user? The API the best way for that?
To detect the role that the user is in?
Correct.
I assume you're trying to do it from an external system, I guess.
Well, we're trying to just make it so that if you go to the accounts view, say the broker of a firm could see all of their files, but the person who's logged in is only going to see their files or things like that.
Well, that doesn't have anything to do with the API. That's just using roles and groups under admin.
We just haven't found a way to make it so that the views are filtered based on the logged in user and their roles.
The view when the user's logged in, you mean?
Yeah, when the user's logged in, we're trying to make it so that based on the user and their role, say if they're just a regular agent or if they're a broker, they would see different files, a different amount of files in different categories.
What do you mean files? Files, where are files? You mean node attachments?
Accounts or such.
Okay, well roles expand privileges, so
they would only see a certain roles. Okay.
Roles expand visibility, groups restrict visibility. So if you have an agent, you want him just to see a certain set of accounts. Are they accounts that are owned by him or what? Accounts in a certain group?
Yes. Yes.
Well, then you just set permissions. You make a group called agents, you add your agents in there, and then in the permissions you change accounts to owner only.
Okay.
That's how we do that.
All right. That sounds perfect. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Okay, Leandro, let's see what you're on here. Leandro, what did you do here? Let's see. Memcache. All right. 264. I create a new user. They go to view the contact. You don't want to disable Memcache. But created several contacts. They're all set to read-write for everybody. When I create a new user, they go to view the contact. The contact will show up in the list, and the first time you click it, you can open it. But if you close it and click it again, you'll get a permissions error. Yeah. Oh, if you disable Memcache, the problem goes away. You can see it once more, and then does the problem happen again?
Yes, I always have get the error, the permission error. If I have a project and I edit to see for everyone. When I have enabled the Memcache, I can see it. As a user, I can see it. But when I disable Memcache, I can see.
Can you replicate it in our demo environment?
Yes, but okay. But there, the Memcache is always enabled, right?
Memcache is on in the demo environment, yes.
Okay. How can I replicate?
If you can replicate in the demo environment, we'll make a pivotal for it.
But how can you replicate that in the demo environment since you can't disable Memcache? The live
You
demo.
can see the, well, because who cares? But because it doesn't matter if you can disable Memcache. If you're getting an error, that's the bug right there. See, if you close it and you click it again, you get a permissions error. You shouldn't get a permissions error in that scenario.
Okay, but in my install, when I disable Memcache, I haven't that error.
Yeah, but there's a bug then. So
Okay.
see if you can replicate it. The part you said where you click and open and you close and click and you get a permissions error. See if you can replicate that exactly in the demo environment.
Okay. 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 I'm trying.
Disable Memcache. Yeah, see what you can do. It might be related to something else that you're not realizing because, but we'll find out. We'll find out.
Okay. Okay. Let me try again, and I'll tell you.
I know there were some issues with this type of thing earlier in like 2.5 or 2.2, but I know we resolved a bunch of stuff. But I mean, well, let's see. Maybe there's something else still happening.
Okay.
Anything else? Otherwise, we'll end 5 minutes early. Thanks, Josh. David.
Just on,
Yeah, go ahead.
Hey, Ray?
Yeah, go ahead.
yeah, just while we're talking about hardening, I had the same situation as Leandro, I think, but I saw this issue when I tried to clone a model. I forgot which model it was. Tried to clone it, and the user went back to look at it, and he couldn't see it.
I've seen that in older versions. I know we fixed something related to that, but it was.
263.
I don't know. Maybe you can get the repo steps, try to reproduce it on the demo environment or something.
Yeah, it's really tough to reproduce, but I'm just saying it's still happening, so I think we ought to keep that in mind.
I mean, it is possible that he has clone privileges and he doesn't have proper permissions unless things are owned by him or something else. But, you know, I mean, if you can replicate it, yeah, let us know.
Okay, I'll try.
Okay, cool, thanks.
I also cloned the project when I got that error. So
Yeah, I'm sure. I think it has to do with cloning.
Oh, you were cloning. Okay, well, then maybe we can get to the bottom of it.
It works. Okay.
Hey, Leandro, did your model have a relations?
No, I'm not sure. Not sure.
So it wasn't like, you know, it was like account has contacts and the guy had permission for account, but he didn't have permission to the contact.
That's it's possible. It's possible. Let me try. But why it works when I disable memcache without any change?
Because it's a caching problem.
I disable it and it works without any change.
I don't know. I mean,
When I was digging around in the code, I thought I actually saw it called two different functions, and I forget what the condition was, but one of the functions it was like clear all caches, and then the other function was like just clear one kind of cache. I'll get back to you on which it was. Could be a bug.
okay, well, yeah, let us know. We'll get that fixed up. If you guys need anything else, just post on the forums.
Yeah, thanks everybody for joining.
Thank you, everyone.
We'll catch you
Have a
next
good
week.
day.
Take
Thanks
it easy.
again for all your help.
Bye-bye.
Awesome.